Two cousins, two Trump traitors to the United States, two people, in my opinion, who should be executed. I mean, I'm not in favor of capital punishment, only in certain instances, and they're very limited. The rape and murder, the rape and or murder of a child. Treason against the United States, treason that is very obviously treason for a twisted fascistic reason. And one has to be careful how the word treason is defined. I understand that. But with these two and several more who were arrested as a result of their arrogant, egomaniacal videotapes that they post all over the place. Look at me! I'm going to overthrow the U.S. government. Yoo-hoo! But these two cousins, Edward Hemingway of Virginia and Robert Bauer of Kentucky, stood before a judge in D.C., Judge Tanya Chutkan. And these two criminal record containing assholes were sentenced today to 45 days in jail for storming the Capitol and trying to overthrow the U.S. government. 45 fucking days. I mean, to me, that is laughable. And I know these scum, these bastards, all the way up to their messiah, Donald Jesus Trump, they're all laughing about this. They're just chuckling and chortling. 45 days in jail, big fucking deal. But the judge said this, quote, "What you're being punished for is the decision to take that protest and turn it into a violent occupation of the U.S. Capitol at a time when we were attempting the peaceful transfer of power, something that has never been interrupted in our country's history," end quote. Well, then, Judge, what the fuck, 45 days? I have food in my refrigerator older than 45 days. And she said she criticized these two assholes for reveling in the destruction that day. And she said that they were, quote, clearly celebrating what was going on. And they, quote, looked elated in the pictures they posted, the videos and photos they posted from their attempt to overthrow the government. Now, so far, only 17 of these scum bastards have been sentenced out of more than 600 plus people facing criminal charges. And 3 of the 4 defendants who were sentenced this week received some jail time, in addition to these two assholes. Now, what are they guilty of? They pled guilty to a misdemeanor. I mean, jaywalking, if it's prosecuted, is a misdemeanor. The misdemeanor they were sentenced, or they pled guilty to, was protesting illegally in the Capitol. And that has become the Justice Department's go-to plea deal for many of the nonviolent rioters. Now, the criminal records from these two slime, filthy son of a bitches, and this is typical, so typical of so many male, white, racist pig bastards who follow Trump. Hemingway spent 5 years in prison for sexually assaulting and illegally detaining a woman 15 years ago. And his cousin, this asshole Bauer, has several drug convictions going back to 1999. Although he says he has been sober for the last 15. Oh, fuck you. Sober? So you sign up with Donald Jesus Trump? No, that's not being sober, Bauer. That's being addicted to violence and evil, because Trump is the personification of evil. If you want to follow your Christian religion, Hemingway and Bauer, Trump is your Antichrist. Your cult has been warning about this character for 2,000 years. And like I've said before, he finally shows up and you assholes decide to follow him. Oh, my God. Bauer said, one of the cousin scum, he said, quote, I'm sorry to the families of the people that work in the Capitol that had to go through that. I honestly wish it wouldn't have happened altogether. I'm really sorry I added to it. Yeah? Well, what you should be thankful for, Hemingway and Bauer, is you didn't appear before Judge Mike Malloy. Because no shit. I mean, I know it would have been overturned. I would have sentenced these two fuckers to death. I would have. Oh, there go my liberal credentials. No, I'm sorry. No, I don't believe in the death penalty. I really don't. With the caveats that I mentioned. Hemingway, the asshole who spent 5 years in prison for sexual violence against a woman, probably a very ardent follower of QAnon too, right? He told the court, well, I'm a self-employed truck driver and the sole breadwinner in my family. And my family, quote, will be forced to start selling things, end quote, to pay bills while he's serving his sentence. Boy, you miserable little fuck. You mean that if you, the sole breadwinner, is not winning bread for 45 days, your family has to start selling shit? Well, you scum bastard, you. Why don't you spend less time snorting up this billionaire wannabe's ass the way you do around Trump and go earn some money and support your family? Christ. And then Hemingway added, he said, the sad part is, listen to this, we aren't even 100% Trump supporters. Neither one of us was totally into the guy. We were supposed to go to the rally for a few hours, then take my cousins back to the airport. Instead, we entered the Capitol, and that's how we ended up here today. You miserable little prick, you. You don't have the guts, the courage to stand there and say, okay, yeah, I did it. What the fuck do you care, Judge? Sentence me. You little wormy rats, all of you. God, I hate these people. I know. My language went straight into the commode with this last little bit. Can't help it. Well, I could help it, but it relieves tension to say what I'm feeling, because I always feel what I'm saying. Hi, Truth Seekers. Mike Malloy here. As you know, we've switched formats and are now broadcast exclusively on the Progressive Voices Network. So that means you get fewer program interruptions, no corporate commercials, and lots of profanity. But our format change also means some of our radio listeners no longer hear the program. It's been a while since I mentioned our podcasts, so you may have forgotten that there is a way to listen to this program anytime you need a good dose of screaming. Visit MikeMalloy.com and subscribe to our podcast. As a podcast subscriber, you can download the program to your mobile device and take me with you wherever you go. And if you have a friend who needs a dose of truth-seeking, you can give a gift subscription as well. That's MikeMalloy.com, and never miss a minute of the uncensored fun and frivolity.